على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم اتخذوا أحبارهم ورهبانهم أربابا من دون الله والمسيح ابن مريم وما أمروا إلا ليعبدوا إلها واحدا لا إله إلا هو سبحانه عما يشركون يريدون أن يطفئوا نور الله بأفواههم ويأبى الله إلا أن يتم نوره ولو كره الكافرون هو الذي أرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره المشركون يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن كثيرا من الأحبار والرهبان ليأكلون أموال الناس بالباطل ويصدون عن سبيل الله والذين يكنزون الذهب والفضة ولا ينفقونها في سبيل الله فبشرهم بعذاب أليم يوم يحمى عليها في نار جهنم فتكوى بها جباههم وجنوبهم وظهورهم هذا ما كنزتم لأنفسكم فذوقوا ما كنتم تكنزون صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Surah Taubah. Yesterday we had read the problem with the people of the book, that they did not accept the deen, the right deen, and they did not hold as haram or prohibited what Allah made prohibited and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they did not believe as they are supposed to believe in Allah and the day of judgment. So therefore Muslims are supposed to fight them, and their real punishment is death. Their real punishment is death. They do not, somebody who does not deserve, somebody who does not, so if you own a house and somebody does not want to live by your rules, they do not deserve to live in your house. You will not let them live in your house. Similar is the case of the kuffar, that they live on the earth of Allah, they eat from the things that Allah has produced, they use the sun and the moon and the rain and the food and the crops and everything that comes from the earth and the sky of Allah, but still they don't want to follow the commands of Allah, or let alone follow the commands of Allah, except that Allah is the owner and Allah alone is the owner. So therefore they do not deserve to live, but Allah is giving them a leniency, showing them leniency, that if they want to live peacefully, they will be allowed to live peacefully. Even if they want to live under Islamic government peacefully, they will be allowed to live peacefully, but they will have to pay jizya, which is a small amount that the Muslim government will charge them, and then the Muslim government will become responsible for protecting them. But they cannot live with a show of vigor and strength. They will live subdued. Now the one problem was that the Yahud, some of them called Sayyidina Uzair ala Nabina alayhi salatu wassalam as the son of Allah, and the Nasara, most of them, they called Masih Isa ibn Maryam, Sayyidina Isa ala Nabina alayhi salatu wassalam, as the son of God. And we read last night that this is their sayings that they have conjured up, they have come up with themselves. This is not based on anything, let alone the teachings of their Nabi or the book. اتخذوا أحبارهم. The problem is that اتخذوا أحبارهم ورهبانهم أربابا من دون الله والمسيح ابن مريم. These people, they have made their ahbar, which is the plural of hibr, or their monks. وَرُهْبَانَهُمْ, their rabbis, their ahbar, their monks, their religious leaders basically, أَرْبَابًا مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ. They have made them as arbab. They have made them as, arbab is the plural of Rabb. They have made them lords apart from Allah. وَالْمَسِيحَ ibn Maryam, and Masih ibn Maryam, Sayyidina Isa ala Nabina alayhi salatu wasalam, they have taken him as a lord. وَمَا أُمِرُوا إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُوا إِلَهًا وَاحِدًا. Although he never commanded them to, they were never commanded but to worship only one God. La ilaha illahu, there is no God but Allah. This was the teaching. This is the teaching in the Old Testament. This is the teaching in the New Testament. This is the teaching in the sayings of all Anbiya. La ilaha illahu, there is no one worthy of worship except Allah, so worship Allah alone. Subhana, He's pure of all partners. He's pure of having sons and daughters and any affiliates and any partners. Amma yushrikun, whatever you want to ascribe as partners with Him, He is pure and free and above. Yuriduna an yutfi'u nur Allah. So this is these ahbar and ruhban. This is the basic problem with the people of the book, and Muslims are supposed to stay away from this disease or this problem. What is that disease or problem? That the teachings of deen are very clear in the Quran and Sunnah, and Muslims and every deen is supposed to follow the teachings of the Quran and Sunnah. Yes, there is rulings which are not, if they are not found in the Quran and Sunnah, or if there is an interpretation that is needed, ulama are going to be consulted, or fuqaha, mujtahideen, the four major ones being Imam Azam Abu Hanifa, Imam Malik, Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, and Imam Shafi rahmatullahi alayhi, rahimahumullah, all of them, may Allah bless them. They will be consulted, and what they did was that the rulings of the Quran and Sunnah, which were apparently to an unknowing mind, maybe at some point contradicting each other. For example, the Quran ayah says something very specific, very clear, and the way of the Prophet ﷺ as proven from the Sahaba is somewhat against it to the unknowing mind. So then these fuqaha, mujtahideen, they told us that no, you are thinking wrong, this is the reason and this is the way that this is in following of the Quran and the Sunnah as well. So this clarification has been given. Or sometimes as the world progresses, there are roots of rulings in the Quran and Sunnah, but not specific clear rulings. For example, there's so many examples that the present day, for example, there's the ruling of drugs. There's nothing called in the Quran or the Sunnah that talks about the prohibition of drugs. But the fuqaha, mujtahideen, ulama of that time, of every single of that time, they will apply the rulings of the Quran and Sunnah to the present day things that keep on coming. So the roots of all rulings are still in the Quran and Sunnah. This is the way that Muslims do it. The way the Christians and the Jewish people did it was that there is the book of Allah, there is the Rasul of Allah and his teaching, then they made their ulama as a third independent thing to be followed or obeyed. So if in our world a alim, even if they give a ruling which is in contradiction to the Quran and Sunnah, there is several other ulama, pious ones, who correct them. These people, the Jewish and Christian people, their problem was that they made them a third pillar of deen, na'uzubillah, a third source of deen. That whatever they are saying, even if it is going against the clear teachings of the Quran and Sunnah, they will still follow them and not look at their book or their Nabi. So this was the problem with them. And these people, the reality of these people was that they were very different from Muslim ulama. Pious ulama, they were very different. And this is coming inshallah. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, yuriduna an yutfi'u nur Allahi bi afwahihim. These people with their blows of the mouth, they are trying to extinguish the nur of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the light of hidayah. وَيَأْبَى اللَّهُ, and Allah is not ready to do that. Allah does not accept that. Allah is not ready to accept that the light of Allah is extinguished. إِلَّا أَن يُتِمَّ نُورًا, Allah is not ready to accept anything except to perfectify, to take it to perfection, His nur. And how was this nur taken to perfection? The Sharia of the Prophet ﷺ, the final Sharia, is the perfect deen and the perfect light of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where all the best teachings for human being have been given. And these teachings will hold to the last day. No other deen can live and give answers to the question that the world as it progresses starts to raise. Only Islam, the teachings of the Prophet ﷺ and the Quran, has answers to all the problems till the last day, whatever is going to come. This is the only perfect deen. The second thing, the Prophet ﷺ himself has said that there will remain no house, be it made of mud or mortar. So be it a strong house or a weak house, there will remain no house where the deen of Allah will not enter, and it will enter with the honor of the honorable and the disgrace of the disgraced, which means that it will enter and it will reach every single house. If a person is honorable, is supposed to, it is written in the book of Allah that they will become honorable, they will accept Islam and become honorable, and the honor will be brought through Islam, or their disgrace will be brought through Islam, that if they are written to be among the disgraced people, they will not accept Islam and become disgraced. And this is the ruling of Allah, and this is true, that Islam has reached and everybody knows about Islam, that this teachings of the Prophet ﷺ, the Quran, they reach everywhere as per the promise of Allah. وَيَأْبَى اللَّهُ إِلَّا يُتِمَّ نُورَهُ وَلَوْ كَرِهَ الْكَافِرُونَ. No matter how much the kuffar hate it, no matter how much they dislike it, this is going to happen. This is the way that it was in Badr. This is the day that it will be till the day of judgment. The kufr will keep on coming with all their efforts and might, and they will still lose. They will try to extinguish the nur of Allah, the people of Allah, and they will never succeed. هُوَ الَّذِي أَرْسَلَ رَسُولَهُ بِالْهُدَى. He is the one who has sent his Rasul bil-Huda, with the right guidance, وَدِينِ الْحَقِّ, and the right deen, لِيُظْهِرَهُ عَلَى الدِّينِ كُلِّهِ. So it will prevail, it will overcome all other deens, all other ways of life. وَلَوْ كَرِهَ الْمُشْرِكُونَ. No matter how much these mushrikun, these polytheists hate it. Can do more. 11 minutes. Inshallah, we'll know the next ayah, which tells that the real problem with these people, these ahbar and ruhban, was that they preferred their world over the. We will actually do this ayah. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O people of faith, inna kathiran min al-ahbari wa ruhbani la ya'kuluna amwal an-nasi bil batil. What was they doing? What these people, these religious leaders of the Christians and the Jews, what they're really doing was that they had no concern with what the book says or what the Rasul has said, but they loved their wealth, and to attain wealth they would change the words of Allah or give rulings which were totally in contradiction with the scriptures. So this was the problem with them, that these people did not deserve to be consulted because they did not care about what they were talking about. They only cared about their money. So, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O people who have brought faith, inna kathiran min al-ahbari wa ruhban, not all of them, but most of them, many of them, min al-ahbar wa ruhban, these religious leaders of the Jews and the Christians, la ya'kuluna amwal an-nasi bil batil. They eat up the wealth of people bil batil, in the false way. Wa yasudduna an sabilillah, and they prevent people from the way of Allah. وَالَّذِينَ يَكْنِزُونَ الذَّهَبَ وَالْفِضَّةَ وَلَا يَنْفِقُونَهَا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ فَبَشِّرْهُم بِعَذَابٍ أَلِيمٍ. The address is to the believers that if you become like them, start accumulating wealth and not spend in the path of Allah. So the problem with these people was that they loved their wealth more than Allah. The treatment has been given as you can amass wealth, you can gather wealth, but you have to give in the path of Allah. If you spend in the path of Allah, that is the cure of excessive love of wealth. So as long as Muslims will keep on giving zakat and charity, inshallah they will be saved from the fitna, from the trial and tribulation and the challenges of excessive love of wealth. These people did not do it, and many people from the Catholic Christian religion even today come to us, or other religions who come to us, when they learn about Islam, they are surprised that we do not have a membership fee at the mosque. They are surprised because they say that every Sunday when we go to the church, we have to give a certain amount of donation. It's just mandatory. And in Islam, we don't have mandatory donations. So anyway, the masjid is open for everybody. The religious rulings are available. The religious knowledge is available free of cost. All of those things are very different in Islam. Even today's world, this is a very prominent feature of Islam. That the masjid, the ulama, the aimma, they are generally the poor people of the society. They are not amassing wealth and becoming rich by earning from people. وَالَّذِينَ يَكْنِزُونَ الذَّهَبَ. Even among the Muslims who do that and do not pay zakat or charity, فَبَشِّرْهُم بِعَذَابٍ أَلِيمٍ. Give them the news of a painful punishment. يَوْمَ يُحْمَى عَلَيْهَا فِي نَارِ جَهَنَّمَ فَتُكْوَى بِهَا جِبَاهُهُم وَجُنُوبُهُم وَظُهُورُهُم. On the day of judgment and in the day of punishment, their wealth will be heated up, and this hot metal, this hot zahab and fidda, gold and silver, it will be made hot, it will be heated up, and they will be stained with it, with this very wealth. jibahuhum wa junubuhum wa zuhuruhum. Their foreheads, those foreheads that used to become, they have wrinkles when a needy person would come and ask them, and wa junubuhum, and the sides that they will show to the people who would come and ask them for money, the needy people. wa zuhuruhum, and the backs that were turned over the people who came for help. هذا ما كنزتم لأنفسكم. This is what you gathered for yourself. فذوقوا ما كنتم تكنزون. So taste the reality of what you used to gather by not giving in the path of Allah. Remember, wealth, the Prophet ﷺ, is a hadith of Prophet ﷺ, that kanz, or this collection of wealth, this does not apply to that wealth over which zakat has been given. So a Muslim is allowed to gather wealth and prepare and store for their future or their future generations, but fulfill the right of Allah, spend in the path of Allah what is mandatory, then that purifies the rest of the wealth. ربنا تقبل منا انك انت السميع العليم وتب علينا انك انت التواب الرحيم وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى اله وصحبه اجمعين.